More than 200 people converged in Harrisonville this evening. Today is the 40th anniversary of a shooting that made national headlines. 2 Harrisonville police officers and a bystander were killed. And KMBC 9's Rebecca Gannon joins us live with how the city remembered them.
Well, David, we're standing here on the square where 40 years ago today that shooting happened. This is the bank that the shooter shot into. You can still see some of the bullet holes here. And this sidewalk that I'm walking on is actually where the officers fell. In fact, this corner is where the 2 bodies fell down. And the shooter ran down this street for a bit there. Now, that was 40 years ago. Today, the city commemorated this, the fallen officers, the bystander. And the way they said it, it was to remember the fallen, but not forgotten. In almost every way, it was the perfect picture of a Midwestern town. But the bagpipes, the wreaths, and the badges wrapped in black remind you why this is happening in Harrisonville.
We were here in 1972 when this happened.
40 years ago, on April 21st, a man with a grudge and a gun began shooting people at the Cass County seat. Officer Don Marler and Officer Frank Wirt were one of the first shot at the square. Soon after, Orville Allen, just a man at the dry cleaners, took a bullet. A generation later, those who can or wanted to remember did.
I've had more people, probably 100 to 1, tell me this is a good thing that we're doing this.
In less than an hour, the city of Harrisonville honored those men in true Midwestern fashion.
It was good to see that so many in the city remembered after such a long period of time. My son and I will never ever forget this day, but you know, it's really comforting and heartening to see that so many people did remember and appreciate their service.
With song, silence, a 21-gun salute, the men got their final call.
Harrisonville calling 250 and 245.
And Harrisonville got one step closer to closure. Now back out here on the square, the chief and several residents that I've spoken to from Harrisonville say since that shooting 40 years ago today, Harrisonville has never really been the same. And a lot of people just tried to forget about the shooting and kind of avoid this square altogether. I mean, if you look behind me, there's a couple of kids who are playing, their parents are nearby, downtown on a Saturday night. So the city of Harrisonville hopes that this memorial that happened today is kind of the start of maybe reviving the downtown and putting this all behind them.